In this video, we are going to address 6 of the reasons why you're still skinny fat after months of training and maybe even years. Alright people, so let's get into these 6 reasons. Number 1, you're training like you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. And by that, I don't mean you're necessarily doing his exact workout routine, but you as a beginner with like a skinny fat type of body, you are not an advanced lifter. You're not at that level, so you don't need to be training like you are. If you are skinny fat, you do not need to go download some super massive jacked person's fitness routine that is catered for them. As a beginner, training 3 to 4 times a week should really be your kind of ballpark. I would say 4. Any sort of routine which will allow you to train most of your muscle groups at least twice a week is a good start. But you don't need to go over the top and try and find the highest and hardest routine. Consistency while doing a routine that's catered for you will take you a long way. Moving on to number 2 now, your main goal and focus is trying to lose the belly fat. Instead of actually thinking long haul and trying to build your overall frame up, when you focus on only trying to lose the belly fat, you start doing things like under eating when you shouldn't be, doing more cardio than you should be. So you need to take a step back. If you're trying to build more muscular physique and just look a lot more aesthetic, you need to stop thinking about solely this one little area of body fat. You're forgetting that your whole body is virtually skinny anyway. Without that belly, you are a skeleton. You are super skinny. So you need to think, I need to build my overall frame up, and then as you build muscle, your frame will change anyway, which means the fat deposits will look differently anyway. But overall, you need to try and build up your frame so you actually have muscle on it. Don't spend too much time doing activities and things such as cardio and under eating, which is going to deprive you from actually growing your muscles. Because if you deprive yourself of all the nutrients and actual fuel your body needs to actually get bigger, you're just going to be spinning your wheels and doing the same thing over and over again. Number 3, and this one now is basically you're doing waistman reps. And for those of you that aren't from the UK, that basically means you're working out stupidly in the gym. For example, we've all seen that guy in the gym where he's doing curls damn near quick, or he's doing whatever exercise it is and he's doing super fast repetitions, and to the naive person or the unknowing person, they'll think, oh god, he's able to lift that heavy weight really quick, he's got to be really strong. But in reality, the person that's actually lifting that same weight but manages to control it, it may look like they're struggling, but in reality they are managing the weight. So if you put more time under tension when you're training your muscles, they will grow. If you're doing like this, your muscles barely having to work because you're using almost momentum. It's better if you can then control and contract it, whether it's a bench press, try and slow it down. Believe me, you'll be surprised. You'll find that once you start slowing down the reps, you may potentially have to kind of lower the weight because it's a little bit too heavy for you to control. But mastering that weight and actually controlling it and squeezing your muscles properly will allow them to grow more. So don't be one of those super fast rep people because they're idiots. Number 4 now is fairly obvious, but a lot of you still don't really stick to it, and it is your diet is still pretty bad. So vegetables and fruits are virtually a myth to you. You're one of those people that say, but TJ, I don't want to eat fruits or I don't want to eat vegetables. Yes, calories is the main thing when it comes to gaining and losing weight. However, avoiding vegetables and nutrients and stuff is really naive. Like, I'll try to get certain vegetables into my diet, but as of late I've really upped the amount of vegetables I eat, and it's been helping me so much more. The higher vegetables, to be honest, just allow me to shit more, which has allowed me to kind of keep the waste out of my body, so my core is a lot tighter rather than me constantly having like a bloated gut. So yeah, try and improve your diet. So if you don't know how to cook, learn how to cook home cooked wholesome foods, not the oven food you get out of the freezer and heat it up. Proper real cooked food that you've prepared, or your mom or whoever it is, and then actually include micros as well. Like, don't purposely avoid nutrients that your body needs to grow. Number 5 now is a really common one, and it's you change your workout routine as much as you change clothes. You virtually get a new routine and you don't even stop the routine because it's bad. You get a new one because you may have came across a new routine on YouTube or Instagram or wherever it is, and you keep routine hopping. Me personally, I would advise you sticking to one for at least 12 weeks, and if I'm being honest, over the last year or so my routine hasn't drastically changed. I would say 80% of it's the same, and I basically will switch out the odd exercise here and there if I get bored, but overall I try and stick to the same fundamentals of compound exercises and just try and increase the weight when I can, or as I said earlier in the video, the same exercises but try and do them super slower, or do pause reps to make the muscles work even harder. So in essence, find a routine that's fairly good, train your muscle at least twice a week, and actually stick to it for at least 3 months. Otherwise, how are you gonna be able to gauge it? You need a level of consistency in your training to actually see some results. So don't be that guy that constantly changes routines every 5 minutes. Try and stick to one consistently. And if you want to take it a bit further, obviously you can then track the weights. For example, the main compound exercise you do, you can track how heavy you lift. And over the periods of months, you should be gradually increasing the weight, or at least making it progressively harder, like if you add bands or whatever. But just sticking to the fundamentals, gradually increasing the weight as you lift properly with good form will help you see results in building muscle. Number 6 now is a boring one, but it is probably one of the most fundamental ones you need to actually do when it comes to fitness in general, and that is you do not track the amount of calories you consume. So you don't track calories or macros or anything on those lines. You'll be surprised how simply knowing how much calories you consume in a day can go a long way. It helps you know if you're actually on the right track. If you don't know how much calories you consume and you're just guessing, or you just randomly use an online calculator and it's not accurate, how are you going to know if you're doing the right thing? Like many of the skinny fat people or skinny people in general say they can't gain weight, and a lot of it's because they don't track the calories, or if they do, they do not track it correctly, like the right amounts. Start tracking calories if you don't already, especially if you're not seeing results. If you're seeing results then and you're not tracking calories, fair enough. But in reality, if you do track them, you'd be making even more optimal results. As for this video, this is the 5th installment of my skinny fat series. If you haven't seen any of the other parts, which are more from beginner, getting more intermediate, feel free to click the link down below and I'll put it there for you to see. Anyways people, stay getting gains. I'll see you in the next video.